Welcome to Toyota Time with Timmy the Toolman and Sean. We have one of our favorite returning guests today, my buddy Jordan. And we are actually filming at Jordan's place in beautiful Palo Alto, California. So what we're going to show you is another sick modification you can do to your third generation Toyota 4Runner is a hood lift strut mod. So normally you lift up your hood, you put the little bar in there and then you lower it down and it only lifts up your hood so far. This hood lift modification allows you to just unlatch your hood and lift it up, and the gas struts lift it up for you. And it's going to lift it up higher than normal because it has that capability. We found out about this product through a guy on toyota4runner.org. His screen name is 4Runner for Leon. He got to know my buddy Jordan. He visited Jordan a couple times because he sometimes has work over in Jordan's neck of the woods. And Leon did a hood lift strut install on Jordan's rig. And I saw what Jordan had on his rig and I was a little jealous because I want that sick mod too. So I'm gonna do it on my rig, on my 98. This sick looking thing right here. Sickest mall crawler of them all. Anyways, we're going to show you how to get this done. Let's get started. Before we get started on this sick modification, let me show you what you get with this kit. You get your two gas struts. It comes with a very detailed installation instructions. It comes with a little instruction sheet for the actual Max Pow gas struts. And then it comes with a hardware kit. And in the hardware kit, there's a couple brackets like this, a couple balls that screw into your body, and some rivets. That's everything that comes with the kit. Let's get started on this job. The first thing you have to do is you have to pop your hood. And then you gotta get this stupid thing up, the thing that we're not gonna be relying on anymore. We're gonna check to see if the struts are gonna have the proper clearance. We're gonna install these ball studs into the body. The ball stud comes with a special washer and the concave side faces away from the head. So the concave side is facing downward right now. It has a 12 millimeter head. The holes for it are already available in the inside of your engine compartment. You don't have to do any drilling or tapping. So on the driver's side, it's right here, close to the firewall. Then I'm just gonna use a deep 12 millimeter socket and ratchet and tighten this up. Okay, that's tight. Now we're going to check to see if we are going to have the proper clearance. Depending on your models, you might have a little bit of trouble having the room for it. Not necessarily on the driver's side, but on the passenger side. There's a cruise control module on the 3RZ engines that could get in the way, and we'll actually show you what that looks like on Jordan's rig because he has a 3RZ motor. This has a little clip, and it's going to be really hard to see because the head of this is dark and the clip is dark. But you basically just pry it off and then you can see the clip now is free and then it slides right out of a hole right here. Now we're going to pop this onto the end of the ball. You slide it over the ball and then it's going to be hard to see in the video, but there's a tiny hole that this straight part of the clip slides down through. So you slide it down through and then you just rotate it and snap it over. Now you can see that it can't come out. If you can imagine, when this is hooked up to the hood, this is going to be more compressed. And looking at the pictures that Leon provides in the installation instructions, this strut will be compressed to where the end of the strut will be right about even with the fuse box. So I don't see anything that's going to inhibit this gas strut being able to come down on the driver's side. The ball stud on the passenger side is going to live right here, close to the firewall, just like on the driver's side. And we have this clip for the windshield washer in the way. We need to relocate this, so I'm just going to get in here with a flat blade screwdriver and pop this out to get it out of our way. There we go. Now that we have the windshield washer tubing out of the way, we're going to get this stud installed on the passenger side. We've got the strut installed and it looks like it's going to clear just fine. This cruise control unit could be an issue on some models, and we'll show you what we're talking about on Jordan's rig. So we're in Jordan's engine bay, and Here's the passenger side, here's his cruise control unit, and you could see what he did. He lowered the cruise control unit by just making a couple short brackets to push the cruise control unit down a little bit to make clearance for the strut that's going to be sitting right in this area. The next thing you want to do is figure out how high you want the struts to be raising your hood. So I'm just going to set this out of my way, and there is pretty much a max travel where the hinges bottom out. Right now that's maxed out. I can't push it any further. What Leon's instructions say, which is a good tip, you can use an adjustable painter's rod to dial in the height that you want to set it at. Jordan had a 2x4 that ends up being pretty darn spot on to where I want my hood to be raised up to. I'm just gonna stick this in here like this, and then now this thing is holding the hood steady while we mark our holes where we want them to get the upper brackets in place.
The next part to install is the upper ball mount. This comes provided on this bracket, and it's going to snap in here. It's going to actually connect to the hood right up against this flat side. Now when I installed it on my truck, what I noticed was that at the base of this flat part there's some curvature. And so in order to sit this further in with more contact, I actually ground a bevel onto this surface so that it would meet the curvature of the hood. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, comparing the two parts, this is the one that I radiused this edge on. I used a belt sander. You can see, just comparing, looking down there, how we knocked off that corner. You could do that with a file. With a little patience, you could do it on a grinding wheel, or it's optional. You don't even have to do it. This is just something we decided to modify. We have the upper bracket installed onto the strut. Now we're moving it up into position. We have a piece of tape here so that while we find our alignment, we don't scratch things up in the hood. So in order to align this bracket to the hood, we want to make sure that this surface is parallel with the lines of the hood, and we'll push it up against the hood as far as it'll go, and you see that little bit of gap. We're going to move it back to where it just sits flat and mark the holes there.
The two holes that you want to mark for drilling are the two outermost holes, the one on the top here and the other one on the top here. So those are the two holes you need to mark for drilling. We have the driver's side marked for drilling, and we have the passenger side marked for drilling. Now what we did is we took our extended block out of our way. We put the hood resting on the regular rod, and then now we're going to drill the holes. He's going to center punch the holes we're going to drill. Now that we have our holes marked, we're ready to drill the hole. The instructions say to use a 13/64 drill bit. We have the tip of the drill bit taped with 10 to 15 layers of electrical tape, about a 1/4 inch from the tip. And the reason for that is that as you're drilling the hole, once you punch through the metal, you don't want to continue to punch through your hood and make a hole on the top side, which wouldn't look good. So that's why it's important to do that. Jordan found that the 13/64 drill bit was walking on him a little bit, so he's going to drill a pilot hole with a much smaller drill bit.
Now we're moving to the full-size 13/64 drill bit. Okay, let's pull our tape and see how it looks. So here we're putting the bracket in place, getting ready to rivet it. And before we do so, we just want to check that both of the rivets are going to sit in there. In marking and drilling the holes, you know, we might not have done it exactly perfectly. So we'll check one, put this one in the other. You see it's a little tight, but they're both going to go in. So I think we're in good shape.
Just with a little friction from the holes, the rivets are able to sit in there. If you found that the rivets fit in there really loosely, you would have to take the rivet out and put it in your gun first. I bought this rivet gun on Amazon. It's from Astro Pneumatic. I'll put a link in the video description of this one that I bought. You have to open up the arms of your tool, slide the rivet in, and then bring it into the hole that you're going to rivet. So while you're riveting, you want to be pushing pressure the direction that the rivet's going in. So I'm going to pushing back with my hands and then bringing the arms down. There we go. Third time's a charm. And now we're going to do the same with the other one. Yep, third time's a charm. This one's kind of cool because when you release it, it drops into this little catch container. We have both the brackets rivet to the hood. And again, you got to take the little clip out. You slide the strut over the ball. And then you got to get your clip in place. So now that you have both of your hood struts attached to the upper brackets, you can remove your rod or piece of wood, whatever you use to hold the hood up, and then you can see how well this thing closes. But this isn't the magic. The magic is watching how it opens. So let's show you that. I release the hatch. I give it just a tiny little lift, and look at that. No hands, Mom. The two big benefits I see to this is the fact that, number one, you don't have to lift it and then work on getting this in position. The hood lifts automatically for you. The second benefit is that look how much extra space now you have to work. If you're working on your engine, the hood is lifted way further up to let you get in here and see what you're doing. Those are the two benefits. All right, we are all done with this sick modification that you could do to your third generation Toyota 4Runner. As you saw, it's pretty straightforward. You just have to drill a couple holes, rivet the upper brackets, and potentially if you have a 3RZ motor with the cruise control unit in a position where it might get in the way of the passenger side strut, you'll have to just relocate that module a little bit further down to make clearance for the strut. If you would like to order a sweet set of these hood struts, the best way to get them is to order them directly from Leon on t4r.org. That's the most affordable option. If you're not a member of T4R, you should be a member of T4R because there's a lot of helpful information on that form. Now, you could order these via eBay, and we will provide a link to that site so you can buy them there. With all that said, thank you for watching Toyota Time with Timmy the Toolman and Sean, and special returning guest Jordan, smart guy that he is. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you have any questions or comments, do that below. Take care. Bye-bye. And sick mods.
I like